welcome, and hello to Dragon Age 201, the spoilery guide for the world of Dragon Age. I'm Ghil, your lore archivist, and today I'm going to help you quickly understand the basics of how the Thedas universe works. Please keep in mind, if you have not played the games before and you do want to play the entire series on your own, you probably want my Dragon Age 101 video over the same content linked below. So far, every single piece of Dragon Age media is set in Thedas. For the bulk of the series, we have been in the cold southern Thedas, however the upcoming game Veilguard has promised to take us to the north this time around. The series starts in the Dragon Age, currently the 9th set of 100-year periods, all starting from the founding of the main religious organization, the Chantry. Now on screen are all the years the different games start in, but currently we are in about 952 Dragon. The story of how Thedas begins takes us back almost 8,000 years before the Chantry calendar begins. The entire continent was ruled by the elves who lived eternally in their main city of Arlathan. Their empire was great and fearsome and sprawled the entire land. We don't know the extent of what all happened in the Great Elven Empire, but a number of mage lords called the Evanuris enslaved many of their people following various wars. A rebellious man they called Fenharel, or the Dreadwolf, sought to free his people from slavery and the fearsome magic they brought into the world. So, he created the Veil, a sort of barrier that divided all magic from the world. A lot of what happened in this time frame is still actually a mystery to us, but after he locked away the magic and the gods, the Veil took everything from the elves. Their empire crumbled, they began to age and die, and a new race called the humans rose up, defeated, and enslaved them. So let's pause on history to quickly touch on magic. See, all magic is drawn from a select number of sources. Mages are anyone, except for the dwarves, who are able to draw power from the Land of Dreams, called the Fade in Thedas, across the Veil, which is a force that separates the Land of Waking from the world of dreamers and spirits. There is also blood magic, power taken from the life force of a living being and considered evil due to how it can corrupt those who use it. Lyrium is also a common magical source used by all. Found underground, it has unique magical properties compared to magic of the Fade, and is the main export of the dwarves, who are the only ones who can safely mine the substance. In Dragon Age Inquisition, we learn that lyrium is actually the blood of a huge being called a Titan. These Titans call the dwarves their children, and as of right now, we are not sure what the exact connection is. However, one dwarven woman named Valta, connected to a Titan, obtained some sort of magical ability, and then disappeared into the deep. We know that the elves fought these Titans, but their place in history is still unknown. Now, the Tevinter Imperium worshipped gods who took the form of dragons, called the Old Gods. About 1,500 years before the start of the series, these gods began to whisper to their high priests, mage lords called magisters, to enter the golden city that floats in the world of dreams. In their hubris and with great cost, they did so, but turned the city black and brought the blight into the world. The blight tainted the 7 old gods, and one by one they have risen to destroy the world from their underground prisons. The blight is a cancer onto Thedas, spreading and destroying all that it touches. It forms monsters called the darkspawn, beings that know nothing but hunger and destruction, which follow the song they hear from their twisted old gods, called archdemons once they're blighted. The first blight took 200 years to stop and nearly ended the world. Were it not for a group of warriors called the Grey Wardens, it surely would have been the end of everything. These people risked their lives, giving their all to be vigilant in stopping the blight, and so far have successfully stopped 5 of the 7 possible blights that can occur. Much has been lost over the 1,000 years the blights have ravaged the land, taking the most from the dwarves, who have lost all but 2 cities, called Tighes, to date. Just after the first blight, the holy Andraste was born to southern Thedas. She was chosen by the Maker, who the Chantry believes is the one true god and resides in the now called Black City, to be his bride. She agreed to his love, but on the condition that he help her people who are enslaved by Tevinter. So, slowly, and with the help of her mortal husband Mafroth, she raised an army and marched towards Tevinter, freeing those enslaved along the way. Her husband would eventually betray her out of jealousy for her power, with the holy Andraste burning on a pyre in the main city of Tevinter, Minrathous. I'll skip about 200 years worth of history here, but those that worship Andraste started the Chantry. The Southern Chantry preaches caution and fear towards mages due to their abilities, while the Tevinter Chantry praises them. Mages in the south would be gathered together and put into communities called circles, who were looked after and policed by Chantry forces called the Templars. About 300 years before the start of the games is when the Qunari arrived, an unusual race of horned giants from across the sea who aimed to control all of Thedas. While they were pushed back to the islands of Saharan and Parvalin, their unusual way of life, called the Qun, has drawn not an insignificant number of Thedosians to their rank. all becoming Qunari in name for the security of order and protection from magic even more extreme than this other chantry. Starting in Trespasser and continuing on in the extended media, the military branch of the Qun, called the Antam, has made the shocking move to break away from the rest of the people. Led by the Air Shock, the Antam has had enough of the weird magical things that has happened in the south and has decided to dominate the rest of Thedas. While Tevinter has been at war with them from the start, the Antam has destroyed a number of Tevinter cities and now controls large parts of Antiva and Ravane. And that, dear Delens, are the basic of the world of Thedas. If you would like to learn more about certain subjects, I've linked a playlist below with more comprehensive videos on a wide variety of subjects mentioned here. So until next time, Darkspawn.